when you were doing the like focus on just high equity, because as we know, like you can get results from that. It just takes a lot more like time, right, and a lot more numbers, and you got to make sure you're doing it all like in the proper cycles. There's a lot of really big companies that make a lot of money off of just hitting high equity, but it's kind of like there's a lot of money just kind of like flowing through where they can't see it. It's not being caught. So when you
Yeah.
were doing it like that, kind of like what was your kind of tempo like? Like what were you calling for a certain amount of hours a day, or
Yeah.
like what did it
So
kind of look like?
yeah, so I mean, like once we got the kids situated for school and everything like that, I would be on the phones as soon as possible, maybe like 10 a.m. And I would go all the way from like 5 to 6 p.m. So it was pretty intense, but it was just nonstop dialing, right? So it's kind of like high equity. And at the time I was using Calltools. I still kind of have it, but it was just sitting there on a dialer. And I
Right.
think that's kind of the approach. I don't know, like everybody teaches now. They just like, oh yeah, just shotgun, and because it's like volume and it's larger teams, but you kind of gotta I guess formulate your business around your lifestyle, right? Like some people don't have the fortune to kind of have a huge team like that from the start, or nobody does,
Right.
right? But you got to kind of so essentially I was doing is like a shotgun approach. It wasn't really laser focused. It was kind of like I'm closing my eyes and I'm spraying and hopefully I hit something, right? So that's kind of
Right.
what I was doing. Yeah.
So like if you were to take what you do now, because like what is a typical kind of like like what does your day look like right now? If
Yeah.
you're if you
So
were to go through from wake up to evening, just cover your day.
uh yeah, so I get up really pretty early, go to the gym. From there I come back and I kind of schedule out my day to see what's going on. So I start probably calling around 10:30, and I'll call till maybe 6:30. And in between, I would say calling is I'm getting new prospects, right? So I break off the time between new prospects and then follow up. So I kind of
Gotcha.
break that down. um, and from there I kind of do that, and then for the part-time acquisitions I do, it's mostly like Tuesdays and Thursdays, unless like there's some follow-up I need, or some type of lead that rolled in and it's like a hot lead or something, or even just the lead that rolls in, I'll still tackle it too.
So like so after you get like when you get your data, where do you get your data from right
Oh,
now? If
so
you
yeah,
bring
yeah.
the data
So
in and then yeah.
so when I bring in the data, it's mainly D for D. I would say it's like 90% driving for dollars, and I have like two drivers on my team. So essentially, they'll do driving because I'm in Los Angeles, Orange County market. So again, like I guess this is like a different thing. I guess like deal average deal size is a lot larger. But I guess you could say the frequency, at least for me, because I'm a solopreneur, it's different. So but yeah, I would say it driving for dollars, and I pull like a little bit more niche stuff maybe from Propstream. I don't really grab anything from the county, um, not yet at least.
So you're doing primarily D for D. You're getting that data. Are you using Deal Machine for that, or sorry, it reset on
Uh,
me on my end.
oh yeah, I saw you kind of pause for a second. I thought it was me.
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest, I'm using Landglide, so it's like it's even a
Okay,
cheaper
perfect.
service. Yeah,
So you
it's
simple. Yeah. So you're actually
super
you're
simple.
actually driving around and just manually adding them. Now, are you hiring somebody to do that actually, or is it just you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I have two guys that work with me, and whether it's like for the day or splits, percentage splits, because like they're close friends of mine, so it's not like a
Yeah.
big deal or anything like that. But it's pretty consistent. But I mean, I'll give you like a quick, right. So I started in, let's say, November, right? Um, so I got my D for D for the December and kind of a couple months prior to that, right, when I really started to think, okay, I'm gonna go all in. So I had I think a full list. My first list I know for sure was like 190, and then my second D for D list was like 60. So I would say what, like 240, 250, and out of that, I was able to extract two contracts. So I mean,
Okay.
it was like very, very, very highly focused, and it's very laser, like sniper focused. So
Yeah.
essentially, that's
Okay.
kind of what I did. Yeah.
With your marketing budget that you have right now, that's your dialer. Is that including like any skip tracing and stuff too? You just kind of keep
No,
it.
that's kind of that's like the majority for the skip tracing. So I mean, you kind of do the math. I think in total, I counted just before the meeting. I think I have a total of almost I want to say 1,200, maybe 1,300 D for D leads, and I've literally been milking that for the last like 2 3
Exactly.
months.
Right, because I
I
mean the property is not like it disappeared, right? It's a matter of getting
no,
like, and how many of those 1,200 do you think you've actually like spoken to and reached so far?
I'd be fair to say like 40%, 30%. Like
Yeah,
I haven't even hit them all. I mean, like that's why I'm saying. If I did it out of a list of 190, and I got two contracts pretty much, and one of them to be the pretty much the biggest deal, like of my career so far.
yeah.
That's it. I had this conversation with my buddy. Like he's like, yeah, I got like, I forgot. He's like, I got like 100,000 records. I'm like, oh man, you're set for the year. Like you're probably set for the year
Oh yeah,
because
easily.
or two, because I'm like, yeah, all I need is like give me a list of like at least 50 and we'll probably make something happen.
And you're only focusing on like one type of data set too, and you're only focusing on one type of marketing strategy, right? You're not doing any direct mail or any SMS or
So
anything like that. You're
no,
just
not
calling
yet.
right now.
Right now it's cold call because what I told myself, let me build out a system for cold calling first, and then once I master that, I'm getting onto text blasting. So I'm in the process of getting into text blasting, but essentially it's just all primarily cold calling. And
Right.
I mean this differs. I mean sometimes because of the leads I'm chasing, they're a lot larger, and as far as assignment fees or even if they're
Yeah.
flips, right? So sometimes I'll come down there and actually meet people in person, but it's very narrow. It's very narrow
Right.
for sure.
So what dialer are you using right now? Are you using something like Kixie or some other single
No,
dialer primarily?
I'm actually using Calltools. I still have
Okay.
Calltools, but to be honest, I'm using CallRail. I mean, I'm hand dialing it. I'm even
Okay.
at the point where I'm like, maybe I should just ditch Calltools for now until I get my a VA or extra VA
Yeah, it
for.
almost sounds like you could ditch Calltools and switch over to like Kixie or AirCall or something like that. And we
Yeah,
have it's releasing within the next week or two. You're going to be able to do click to call instead of REISift, so you'd be able to just go to the records and just do it like that. And there's
yeah,
some
that might, and
cool
it
thing
has its
going
own
on
number.
there.
It has its own number and everything.
Yeah, it has its own number and everything, just like CallRail, except for it's way cheaper. So what the reason why I mention that though is like if you have 1,200 people right now, right, and you're doing D for D and basically just looking at properties that have some form of distress, and you're reaching out to these homeowners, you can call them. You haven't even started doing the text messaging, but even before you do bulk, you could just do call, do a one-off text message, and then set it on a follow-up, and then for
Yeah,
those ones that for sure, like they could be vacant in REI stuff and deal machine, then you could say, okay, well let me go ahead and do the deep prospecting and reach out to the
right.
homeowner, send all the siblings a direct mail piece. There's so much more that you could even gain out of these, because even out of the 30% that you have reached, or that those that you can't get a hold of via the phone, it just might not be their style, right? They might need that postcard. So but I want to know a little bit more about like the flow of reaching out. Like how do you when you get it in Landglide, which is like what, $7 a month or something like that, it's a really cheap app,
Yeah.
and you get the pins pointed, how do you get it from Landglide in
Yeah, so
REI Sift?
they just uploaded, they just like did a software update. So it used to suck because I used to have to like manually put it in Propstream, but now you pretty much export a list, and you take that list exported from Landglide and it comes in an Excel file. So then from there I could go ahead and clean it up and then upload it into REI Sift, and then from there I do the standard kind of tagging. I don't really go too crazy. I mean, I just want to know when I got it and what I'm going to do with it, right? At what time. So pretty much kind of the fundamentals. And then from there, I keep track of when I called it. So then once I know I already had an attempt on it, what I'm doing now is I'm going to hit a second, well, if I haven't already, right? So because I'm still having D for D coming in. So pretty much what I'm doing is tagging that, and then from I'm going to look back and see what I've hit twice already, so then I could squeeze in text blast, or if I already hit them once, hit them again. So that's kind of what it is. And from there, and in REI Sift, I'm kind of just really prioritizing what to hit first, essentially, because I
Love
mean
it.
my list is not that big, but again I'm a one man team for now, so it's like
Yeah.
essentially what I'm trying to do is just prioritize my time and capitalize. And to go back to that question, I remember like how do you get deals, right? From how does it close more deals? This is another thing, like I think is people like you kind of mentioned, they teach how to do the bulk stuff, right? And do
They
what
teach how to
norm
spend
like
money.
Yeah, pretty much, right? But like you got to also learn, it's like in the sentence, like close deals. Like you got to learn how to close them, you know? Like it doesn't matter. You can get REISift and you might have gold in your, like, you know, I probably, there's some guys that have like, I say, hey, shoot me your 10K list and we'll see who can close them. You know, you got to like be able to talk to people and actually close the deals. That makes a world's difference, first and foremost. And then second, like REISift in itself, to me, like what it is like it's kind of like a bird's eye view of everything that I have, and then I can be able to prioritize what I want to hit first, and then track what I'm hitting alongside kind of understanding what's coming back. Because I was talking to my buddy too. I was kind of I feel like I'm a little promoter for REISift other than like me and Jeremy, because like we're just like, yeah, we should get some kickbacks from this, but no, I'm just
There's,
kidding.
there's rewards on the left-hand side. Click the rewards, you get a
I
link.
know I goofed up. I already missed out on two chances for that. But no, but what's it called? No, I'm just playing. But essentially, like I'm just like, man, okay, shoot me your list, and it's like, okay, the 2-year-old list now is suddenly has like so many gems, and it's only because you took the time to really give it that direct, you know, sniper approach that you kind of were overlooking.
Yeah, it's like you can have a data you bought 2 or 3 years ago, and people think data expires, but it doesn't. I uploaded a list of high equity from someone 2 years ago, and it had 500 vacant properties on it. It's like, okay, have you reached them? No, I haven't been hitting that list. I'm like, well, this is why there's still cash transactions in your market. You know, a lot of people just don't have the thought process of where their brain needs to be at. They don't understand a home address is just a home address. The owner is just the owner, right?
Yeah,
Equity, all those things aside, are simple, more insight that we can gain to try to put our marketing dollars at highest priority to the right prospects, and then kind of expand deeper into that. So I love that.